context, in this discussion, we're talking about kind of Office 365 and the TR Online and the productivity applications which are really applications as a service. And the core piece that I want to kind of land here with you is there are a lot of benefits and there are a lot of reasons, very solid reasons for anyone to be considering the cloud service. And a lot of you are already using it for something or the other today. I mean, a lot of times, I've been part of the online services business since 2006. Ever since I joined Microsoft, I was a product manager for Live Meeting, and which is now built into Lync and Lync Online. But so in the last 6 years, I've seen really kind of the entire spectrum of customers. But the core reasons why customers really gravitate towards cloud services. In some cases, it is just scalability. In other cases, it's the time to market. It's just time to get something up and running and get your users on it and get them using it. There could be scenarios where you have a company where you have multiple offices. You have headquarters in New Jersey, but you have offices all over the country or all over the world. If you have a sales office in Boston and with 25 people in there, you're not going to set up a whole new server infrastructure just for 25 people. You might, but it might be actually better for you to say, you know what, I have all my headquarter teams deployed on premises based on what I have been using over the last few years. I'm going to provision all the users in my satellite offices on the cloud. For example, I'm going to move them all to Exchange Online. But I don't necessarily have to force all of my people in the headquarters to move to Exchange Online. I can actually have them kind of on premises for some users, on the cloud for others, and they can seamlessly talk to each other. It's still based on Active Directory. You can still communicate, collaborate. The end user doesn't even know that they are actually provisioned in the cloud versus on premises. I mean, I work in Bellevue, right next to Redmond, and we work in a 28th floor building. The top half is Microsoft, the bottom half is Eddie Bauer, that's the headquarters. And this was about 3 years ago when we moved the entire building, that entire set of people in Eddie Bauer, over to 365 over one weekend. And we migrated all the mailboxes over beforehand, and so finally when it came time to switch them, it was basically a weekend when they got pivoted over to the cloud service for Exchange Online. And the end users basically were in many cases not even aware that they got ported over. It really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they're using their mobile phones, they're using their Blackberries or whatever phones they have, they're using Outlook, and it all is the same. It makes no difference, and that's really key. Cloud services doesn't necessarily mean that you're sacrificing end user experiences and sacrificing the productivity that you get from what you already have today and what you like and what your users are trained on and familiar with for the sake of scalability or cost or what have you. It really brings both of those together, and that's really key. I was going to talk about kind of data, but I'm glad the question actually came up already organically, which is great, which is what happens when you don't have internet connectivity? What do you lose everything? And who do you talk to? And where's your data? And are you completely out of commission when you're on a plane and the Wi-Fi doesn't work or what have you? And the reality is no. When you think of online, all the form factors that you talked about, whether it's PCs, phones, desktops, what have you, they can work with the cloud services or they can be offline. And the data still resides. All your contacts still are with you in Outlook. All your documents are still in SkyDrive Pro or SkyDrive, and based on your sync settings there. I mean, I use SkyDrive Pro every single day. I don't actually have my documents anymore. I moved away from that. The reason for that is, my SkyDrive Pro is really an automatic backup. So if I crash my laptop, I don't have to worry about losing any data. That's one. Secondly, I have offline access to every single thing in there. And I have 45 gigs of space there, so fantastic. Secondly, whatever changes I make when I'm offline, as soon as I'm connected to the internet, they get ported over. And it still also means that I control who gets to see what. So So most of my SkyDrive Pro, which is in SharePoint online, that's only for my access. It's a restricted piece of the space. But I have also a shared folder. I can actually give access to people based on folder, subfolder, file, what have you, and actually manage those permissions, just like you would typically do in SharePoint anyway. So it's not new, but the fact that it's actually that easy for me is really great. And so when you think of cloud, you can think of different workloads being moved to the cloud. So Exchange moved to the cloud, SharePoint staying on premises. That's fine. Some users move to the cloud, some users on premises. It really depends on what your business situation is and how best you want to utilize cloud services in a way that makes sense to you today, and how you can easily move and migrate over in the coming years. And that's really key, because a lot of times the question when I've seen customers kind of double, triple click into it, and they realize the decisions that they're making today, especially about moving to the cloud, are not something that they're going to do for short-term reasons. That's always kind of, in their mind, but moving to the cloud is not necessarily a short-term fix. It's not a 6-month decision. What you're doing is actually making a strategic move to the cloud for whatever workload you're looking at for the longer term, because it allows you to then rethink how best you utilize your resources, your money, your people in a way that makes sense and then is most efficient for your business. So that's how I would put it in the broader business context, as well as from a purely IT point of view as well. I think we talked, Don talked a little bit about kind of deployment, and I'll just touch on that a little bit here, which is especially with Office 365. I mean, the upcoming